In 1957, an experiment was being done on honeybees. During this experiment, a small mistake caused a big mess. It was noticed that after the experiment, the bees have become very aggressive and ferocious. It seemed that if these bees came out of the experiment container, they would not leave anything in their way. And during this time, what everyone was afraid of happened. Viewers, this incident took place in a laboratory in Rio Claro, Brazil, when Dr. Warwick was doing an experiment on honeybees. Because the honey production of European bees used to be very low, Dr. Warwick wanted to change the DNA of these bees so that these bees could also produce as much honey as possible. To change the DNA, honeybees were ordered from South Africa, which were mated with European bees. This experiment was being done in a laboratory where bees had made hives in a container. The experiment was a complete success, and this new generation of bees was named africanized bee. Everything was going exactly as planned. But then Dr. Warwick suddenly lost his mind that these bees were getting more aggressive than necessary. This strange behavior of his. He was feeling scared, and then the doctor decided that he would not take these africanized bees out of the container. But then what should not have happened. Due to the mistake of the lab worker, a large group of bees succeeded in getting out of the container. It was only after they came out that it became clear, because as soon as they came out, the bees attacked people. It was no longer possible to control these bees. They made their new homes and grew very fast. As they grew from Brazil, now these bees have also spread to a large extent in America, which has still put more than 1,000 people to sleep. And that's why these africanized bees are also known as killer bees. They look darker and much more dangerous than other honeybees. Even from a distance of 500 meters, they attack those who move towards their roof. And if they decide to attack a human or an animal, they surprisingly follow them for half a kilometer. But like other honeybees, these africanized bees also die immediately after cutting a human. How dangerous is the sting of these bees for humans? Why do they die after stinging? It is important to know that first we know why the bees attack. First of all, understand that no matter what kind of bees, they only attack humans when they feel threatened. Normal honeybees attack when someone touches their hives. But africanized bees are more aggressive than necessary, so they attack people who are moving away from their hives. Then, no matter why someone is not passing through for some other purpose, when these bees are collecting pollen from flowers, then it does not harm anyone. But if someone puts his foot on them or hinders their work, then they get angry and do not sit quietly without stinging. But they have no idea that they will not survive after stinging. In fact, the sting of these bees is like a dagger or a dental knife, whose teeth are directed upwards. When the sting gets into the body of a human, then the teeth of the sting get stuck in the human skin. And because of this, it becomes very difficult for the sting to come out. When a bee tries to get its sting out, then that sting comes out of the body of the bee instead of the human skin. Not only the sting, but also many parts of the bee's muscles, nerves, and many parts of its digestive system also separate with the sting, which causes the bee to die on the spot. Most people are very lucky if only one bee has stung them, because these bees always attack in groups. If a bee also stung you while passing by their hives, then the whole group reaches there at the same time. But the question is, how do other bees know where to attack and whom to attack? In fact, the honeybees that gather in their hives are for their own food. These honeybees gather for their bad time, especially when there is no pollen season, or the protection of their hives. Many bees guard them closely. When a human comes near them, they smell them from a distance. And if any bee succeeds in stinging, then a chemical is released from them, which is called pheromone. Experts believe that as soon as pheromone spreads in the air, it acts as an alarm signal for all the bees present there. All those bees that are on duty at that time immediately attack that person by smelling pheromone. That's why it's better to leave that place as soon as a bee stings you. It is also very important to know how dangerous a bee's sting is for humans. When this sting enters the human body, it leaves a toxin in our body, which is called melatonin. The human body immediately starts working to fight this melatonin, which causes that part of the body to immediately swell and turn red. In fact, it is the defense mechanism of our body that forces that part of the body to swell to fight melatonin. If the sting gets close to the blood vessel, it gets into the blood and starts spreading throughout the body, which can have very scary consequences. Or if people have melatonin allergy, there are many chances of their condition deteriorating. That's why if you ever get stung by a honeybee, don't forget to remove its sting immediately. Because as long as the sting is in the body, it will continuously pump its toxin into the body. Let's now know some interesting facts about killer bees. Killer bees normally build a very large roof, which has more than 80,000 flies. These flies attack perfume, shiny things like jewelry, and dark-colored clothes immediately. Their sting is normally like a honeybee, but it has the ability to remove its sting in just 3 seconds. Once these flies swarm, their anger does not cool down for the next 24 hours. In the case of a killer bee attack, it is necessary to run at least 1 kilometer away from them to save their lives. Even when hiding in the water, these flies keep waiting for their prey outside the water. I hope you will like and share this video to watch more such interesting videos. Subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon so that you are notified of all the new videos on this channel. Take good care of yourself. Thank you so much for your comments. See you in the next great video.